Melochim, Perek Aleph, Halacha Yud. The Rambam says, "A Moshe Melech Yisrael, do not anoint kings of Israel, not from Judah, not from David, B'Shem HaMishcha, with the Shem HaMishcha, which was made by Moshe Rabbeinu, B'Shem HaFasman, but rather with persimmon oil." And the Peirush says below, even though all the mitzvahs of Melech do apply to him, as we learned in the previous halacha. Because the Mishnah cites a Bryce and Horius. Malach Beis David are anointed, and Malach Yisrael, you don't anoint them. So Gemara explains that Malach Yisrael were anointed, but with only persimmon oil, like Elisha, who made Yehu, and there says persimmon oil. Because the Mishnah adds that even the kings of Yisrael are anointed only when there is a disagreement, like we find by Yehu and Nimshi, because there was a disagreement whether Yehoram should be king. But when there's no disagreement, even the first king would not be anointed, which is different than by David. As we find Malach Yisrael, you don't have to anoint them. And the question is, why was Shaul anointed even though there was no disagreement? And he cites Horius, Echana said in Tefillah, Roma Kauni Ba'Hashem, and no Yom HaPachish, it refers to the horns, not to the jug. The Gemara says that Shaul was anointed with a jug, as it says in Shmuel. Shmuel took the jug of oil and he poured it on his head. And so to Yehu it says, you shall take the jug of oil and you shall place it on his head. And therefore their kingdom did not continue. And since Shaul was called the first king because of his own value, that no one was king before him, therefore he needed king or anointment, even though there was no argument. But somebody who's a king after that, when there's a kingdom in Israel already, the question is who's going to rule it, then he doesn't have to be anointed, only if there's a disagreement afterwards, like in the days of Yehu. In Vayikra Rabbah, it's brought down from the Kesef Mishnah, the same as the Kesef Mishnah says, that Kodesh Baruch Hu showed to Moshe Rabbeinu that Shaul would be king, and he would be ultimately stabbed and killed. So Moshe Rabbeinu said to Moshe, the first king of Israel should be pierced with a sword. And thus we see that Shaul is called Melech Rishon Yisrael, the first king. The Rambam calls him the first king. When there'll be a Melech Yisrael sitting on a seat, Hashem, and the seat of Hashem, there will be Machon Nesher HaGodol. And this pasuk, he says, refers to Shaul, the first king, because every king of Israel is obligated to fight Amalek until they are destroyed. Yeshiva Sefer, son of the Machon, a different Sefer family than the some Sefer, questions that Moshe Rabbeinu and Yeshua also had to do in Melech. We find in Melochim. Elisheva, the wife of Aaron, was happy because her levirate brother, that means levirate husband who would be king. When it was David, that was Moshe Rabbeinu. And Shavuos, it says you don't add to the Azorah, only with a king and a Navi. Rashi explains what happened at the time of Moshe. He was a king, and he was also a prophet. In Peirush HaMeir, it says that the Rambam says that Moshe Rabbeinu was a king, as it says, Vahi Bishur Melech, in Rome 33:5. Rambam also says there that Moshe was king on all the Shvatim. And so we find Hilchos Yesodei. They bring some Shavuos that you don't add to the city of Yerushalayim, only according to a king and a prophet. And Moshe Rabbeinu was a king. Yeshua was also a king, as we learned in Halacha Gimel. And you don't appoint a king, only Yeshua, the Moshe Rabbeinu appointed him. And now how did the Medrash and the Ramban, the Kesef Mishnah, say that Shaul was the first king? So the answer to Yeshiva Sefer that Shaul was the first king in Eretz Yisrael after they inherited it, because both Moshe and Yeshua were appointed before. Therefore, Shaul is called the first king. Now the answer that you can give is we find in Halacha Gimel that Moshe Rabbeinu and Yeshua were kings, but the laws of kingdom were different from Shaul. That was the first king regarding all the laws that, such as the destruction of Amalek And therefore, the Getzer Mishnah right that Shaul was a Melech Rishon because he kept the mitzvahs of the Melech. He was obligated with them. And you don't appoint in Yerushalayim forever a king other than from the household of David, because you don't anoint him there, Elazar David, only the seed of David. Mayim Chaim cites that the Rambam brings in Halacha Ches, Shachio, that Yerovam, the sons of David, I will give one tribe, so that there should be a position for my servant David all the days in Yerushalayim. He was told in the Mosdos David will be always in Yerushalayim, and therefore Beis David is only over Yehuda. And so we find the Meiri as well. There are those who point out that the household of Hashmonai sinned with that they became kings in Yerushalayim, because no one's allowed to be king in Yerushalayim except from the household of David.